All right, Cezanne, let's get into the AFC South and AFC West. What do you think about the AFC South this year?
Oh, the good old AFC South. Just one of the worst divisions in football, unfortunately, year after year. Not much has changed in that. It's been weak for a long time now, and not much seems to be changing. So, uh, we'll start off with the winner. It will be the Houston Texans once again. I think the Texans have been winning that division year after year for what 5, 6, 7, 8 years now. They pretty much own that division. Um, they are the best team in that division. They have the best quarterback. They have the best roster. They probably have the best coach. Um, they're just a very balanced team. C.J. Stroud is a very good young quarterback. They got Joe Mixon running the ball, the former Bengal. So they just got playmakers, and they're going to win games. They're going to beat up on the teams in their division. They usually do. They're going to sweep them, if not sweep them. Um, so they're just going to run away with that division again. I don't have any questions about them winning that division. Um, and they'll probably be the number 4 seed, as they usually are. The AFC South winner is usually the 4 seed, the lowest record division winner. So they're going to be right there again, that 4 seed. It is what it is. After this, it kind of gets murky. It could be in any order, really. None of these teams really seem to have any separation other than the Texans. So, in number 2, I have the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars will take a little step forward this year. I'm just a big believer in Travis Hunter out of Colorado. I think he is going to be a dynamic playmaker for them, both sides of the ball, which is something we rarely see in the NFL. Deion Sanders type energy. He's going to bring a electric pulse to that team, I believe. I just don't believe in the team overall. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. I never have really. He was great at Clemson, in college. He was really good. But since he's been in the NFL, I just don't see it. He's kind of like Tua for me. I just don't see it. I don't see where the hope or the promise is in him. I just year after year I watch him play, and I just think he's getting worse. If anything, like I don't see, ever since they made the playoffs that one year, and what happened? They had a terrible first half against the Chargers, and then they came back and had like a 24-point comeback or something like that and won that game. And then ever since then, it's just been downhill for the Jaguars. The front office, it's another front office that I don't really believe in. Amir Khan or whatever his name is, the owner, he's just a weird guy, and he doesn't make the best front office decisions. He's hired bad coaches. He hired Urban Meyer, and we saw how much of a disaster that was. I think he might be responsible for drafting Trevor. He's not a very good owner in my opinion, and the team suffers because of it. I think they'll have a step up this year, but I just don't see them really winning enough games to make the playoffs or really push for the division. So I kind of just have them in second there. But Travis Hunter is the story in Jacksonville. Other than that, there's not much really to talk about for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're not a very exciting team or interesting team. They're just kind of there, and they're going to do what they do. The next team is a little bit more interesting. The Indianapolis Colts coming in third. They could easily be second. They could easily be last. But the Colts, I have more faith in because they have a good roster. They have one of the best running backs in the NFL, Jonathan Taylor. One of the best running backs in the NFL. They have a good receiver, Michael Pittman. They have some guys on defense. They have a decent coach, Steve Steichen or whatever, Shane Steichen, whatever his name is. So they got good guys in that building. The Colts are they're in limbo. Like they're just a team that's like they don't know what to do. They don't know if they want to be good. They don't know if they want to be bad. They're just kind of mediocre. Like ever since the Andrew Luck days. Shout out to Andrew Luck. They have not figured it out. They have not figured out the quarterback. They continue to struggle at that position. We thought Anthony Richardson was going to be the guy. It's turned out that he is not the guy. He has one of the worst completion percentages in all of NFL history, which is just crazy. like Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you're an NFL player, and well, I think his completion percentage is like 48% or something like that for his career or last season. It's just terrible. And like, he's not the guy. I was questioning that draft pick when they drafted him a couple of years ago because he came out of Florida. He only started 1 year at Florida, and in that year they went 6-6. So it was like, are you really going to put all your eggs in this basket? Like, okay, well, that's exactly what the Colts did, and it has not worked out for him or for them. He cannot stay healthy, just like Tua. He is constantly injured. He's injured right now, as we speak. As we speak, he's injured. He was supposed to have a quarterback competition with Daniel Jones, who they signed from New York, or was it Minnesota? He was in Minnesota last year, wasn't
Yeah, he was in Minnesota for 1 year.
Yeah, he was in Minnesota last year. Daniel Jones comes over. He was supposed to like compete with Anthony Richardson, but Anthony Richardson's hurt again. So it's basically Daniel Jones' job. And for the Colts, I actually think that's an improvement. Even though it's Daniel Jones, we know Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones made the playoffs once upon a time. Daniel Jones won a playoff game once upon a time. So, Daniel Jones is fast. Daniel Jones has a decent arm. So I think it's actually an upgrade from Anthony Richardson. It's an upgrade, but
I saw something that was very true where they signed Daniel Jones because he is actually the same type of quarterback that Anthony Richardson is, and because he's big, he can run, but he can also throw the ball. But when he runs, it's like it's a big body moving down the field. So you sign a quarterback to fit into your style for a young quarterback. I think Daniel Jones was a good sign for the Colts because Anthony Richardson is the same style quarterback that Daniel Jones is. But that's just my opinion anyway. Go ahead.
yeah, that's a good point. Both dual threat quarterbacks, both can throw, both can run. I just think Daniel Jones, I mean, comparing him to Anthony Richardson, I think he's just better. I mean, he's more accurate. Um, he stays healthy. I think he's a more natural runner of the football. Like, you'll see Anthony run the ball, and he can run, but he's not a very natural runner. And you kind of see that when he runs, and then he ends up getting hurt because he don't know how to protect himself. He doesn't know how to get out of harm's way. He's just like a big clunky dude. He can run, but it's not a natural running motion, unlike Daniel Jones, who very natural runner. If we've seen Daniel Jones in those running highlights, Daniel Jones is fast as anything. Like, that's the fastest white boy quarterback I ever seen. like, he be moving. He be moving. So I just think Daniel Jones is just an improvement in every way compared to Anthony. So good for the Colts, but is he going to be good enough for the Colts to make any noise? We'll see. I think if Daniel cannot turn the ball over and he can show off his skills, maybe they win enough games to make a push. But got the Colts coming in at third. And then last but not least, the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are a big question mark because they're kind of starting over as well. Um, New regime, new quarterback. Of course, Cam Ward, number 1 overall out of Miami. Great pick. I mean, it was their only pick, but just a great pick for them. That's exactly what they needed. Will Levis was not it. Will Levis, man. His name is a pun in itself. It's just like anybody who saw Will Levis play last year saw those lowlights. Oh my goodness, this guy is just something else. And he puts mayo in his coffee. For all of you who don't know that, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Will Levis, just a really quirky dude. But he was not the guy. And they found that out pretty quick. Even though it's not his fault that the Titans suck. The Titans just suck in general. It's not his fault. And they kind of threw him into there after Mason Rudolph went back to the Steelers. They were like, okay, here you go, Will, it's your team now. And he was not ready. He is not good enough to make that team do anything. That team is terrible. So kind of threw him into the fire. But Cam Ward comes in. The Titans have signed some new players. They got new talent. They did well in the free agency. They did well in the draft. They even brought over Cam Ward's former teammate at Miami, Xavier Restrepo, who went undrafted because he ran a really slow 40 time. That's why he went undrafted. But they brought him over to to pair with Cam Ward, and I think that's actually a really big piece for them that maybe is underrated because you bringing over his college teammate, his best receiver in college, helps Cam Ward to adjust to the NFL that much easier when he has guys that he's already familiar with, he's been throwing the ball to for over a year now. Like I think that was a really good move for them to do that, and I think that's going to help Cam adjust to the NFL. Of course, he's going to have to adjust. It's going to be a huge adjustment, especially when you're playing for a team as bad as the Titans right now. But I have hope for the Titans. I think they could win a few games. Show have a couple good performances here and there. I think Cam Ward is going to have a good rookie season. I think he might struggle a little bit at first, but he'll get to it eventually. And they have a bright future. I think they have a bright future. It's just that right now it's not going to all come together right now. But they could definitely move their way up these division standings here in the future. So watch out for the Titans. I just think this year they're still gonna be there at the bottom. But yeah, the AFC South overall just a not a very competitive division. Only one team is going to come out of this division. I have no doubt about that, and they're going to keep being the AFC South.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I don't. For my AFC South predictions, I have the Texans being in first place, which, again, like you said, I think that's the only team in that division that is going to be consistent for the next couple years because of CJ Stroud. But second place I have the Titans, and I think we've seen recently a lot of rookie quarterbacks play really well, and I think Cam Ward might be one of those guys where, like you said, they bring in Restrepo, they just make him comfortable. They're doing for him what he needs to be done. He they're making him comfortable, I guess I should say. And then third place, I have the Jaguars. And, again, uh, Jaguars just because you have Trevor Lawrence. He's experienced, he's played games, he knows how to win games in the NFL. He'll be okay this year. But I have the Jaguars in third, and then I have the Colts in fourth because, I think the Colts are a little bit lost. They're probably the most lost team in that division where you have the Texans, they have CJ Stroud. You have the Jaguars, they have Trevor Lawrence. You have the Titans, now they have Cam Ward. They're all kind of set in on who their quarterback is, who the franchise guy is. And I think they will do really well just because they're kind of set, they're locked in, and they know who their guy is. Where when you have the Colts, who have coming in last in the division, they're not really sure. They have Daniel Jones and they have Anthony Richardson, and not that either of those quarterbacks are bad or you know gonna make them lose games, but I just think that the indecisiveness and just how the Colts have been operating lately, I don't see them having a good year. Um, but that yeah, so Texans won because CJ Stroud is an amazing young quarterback who the entire franchise can get behind, and it's like CJ Stroud is a Texan as long as the Texans will have him because he has carried that team year after year. And then the Colts, they're just kind of they're a little iffy to me. And the Jaguars, they're very consistent whether they lose or they win, they do it on purpose. That's in my opinion. Titans, they try to win every game. And now that they have Cam Ward and Restrepo, like you said, it makes Cam Ward a little more relaxed. It makes him a little more comfortable. And I think Cam Ward, you see all the videos online of him and Shadur and Cam's just openly just talking mad shit, like just completely going after Shadur. And Shadur doesn't even know how to handle it. And Cam is just like, "What's up, dude? Like, let's go. Like, I love this. I love this competition. I like this." And he's like, and so I think Cam Ward is a complete dog. I think he's ready for the NFL. I think he will help that team immediately. And, weapons or not, no matter who his receiver is, he's going to make the pass. He's going to make the play. He's mobile and because it's almost like I'm talking like I'm a 2005 NFL scout. But Cam Ward has like the build to be an NFL quarterback. He has a cannon. He's mobile enough. And that's the main thing that I think helps rookie quarterbacks because we've seen that in the last couple of years with rookie quarterbacks being just coming in and helping a team immediately. I mean, you look at like Jalen Hurts was young, Tua was young. I mean, Brock Purdy. You don't have to be a Lamar Jackson. You just have to move enough where you can help your team and you can make the pass that the team needs and you make the read that the team needs. I think the Titans come in second in the AFC South. And then the Jaguars, again, like I said, third place, consistent team, but they're consistently third. I don't know if they make the playoffs or not, but I'm not sure about the Jaguars this year. That's another team where the owner is it's kind of like the Bengals owner a little bit. He's more the Jaguars owner is more willing to spend money, but the Browns owner is just, stingy as it can be. But then I have the Colts in fourth, like I said, just because they don't really even have a cornerstone at any position. They don't really know where they're going. They're trying to win, but I don't think that they can with the team they have.